Welcome to Beginner's Yoga Intro to Sun Salutation A. In this 14-minute video, we'll be hitting the basics of Sun Sal A and finding some breath by movement. Now find somewhere comfortable either in your home or outside if it's a beautiful day, and we'll get started. We begin our practice in a comfortable seated position. Maybe it's legs crossed, extended, or maybe we're resting on our knees. And from here, we just want to begin to ground down into our sit bones and connect with our space, connect with our breath. Bringing one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Begin to inhale, filling the lungs and feeling your belly, rib cage, and chest and shoulders rise. Then on your exhale, feeling your chest and shoulders, rib cage, belly sink. We'll bring hands to heart center, creating an intention for our practice today. And once you have that intention, we'll bring both hands to our forehead and seal our intention. Beautiful work. From here, we're going to go ahead and come to a tabletop position. Now in tabletop, we want to make sure that wrists are underneath our shoulders, glutes are over our knees, and when we look back, we shouldn't see our toes. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, cow. Exhale, round the spine, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Inhale, press the earth away from you, round the spine, cat pose. Inhale, neutral tabletop pose. Inhale, curl the toes under, and on your exhale, slowly begin to send the hips up and back into our first downward facing dog. Now from here, we can go ahead and check for alignment, making sure fingertips are spread, maybe a slight micro bend in our elbows, and a slight bend in our knees to help hike our hips up towards the ceiling. From here, maybe wiggle the forehead in the affirmative yes, and maybe in the no. Maybe pedal out the feet, releasing any tension, since this is our first down dog of our practice. And spend some time here really feeling what this posture feels in your body. Beautiful work. From here, we'll inhale as we look up at the fingertips. And then on our exhale, we're going to take little baby steps, traveling to the top of our mat into a forward fold. And take a deep bend in the knees here, and let the head hang heavy as if it's a waterfall drizzling down. Maybe if you feel called to, grab opposite elbows and shake side to side. This is our ragdoll pose. Beautiful. From here, we'll release the hands to the mat and walk our hands to the right end of the mat, finding a nice side body stretch. Walk the hands back to center, then move on to the left side of the mat, finding another side body stretch. And come back to center. Take a deep bend in the knees, and inhale, go ahead and bring the hands behind your legs and squeeze your knees into your forehead. Nice. Releasing the hands back down to the mat. Take a deep bend in the knees and inhale, slowly rise. Stacking the spine vertebrae by vertebrae. And then extending both arms up towards the sky. And then exhale, hands at heart center, taking it nice and slow. As we begin to set up for our Sun Sal A, you want to make your way to the top of the mat. Feet are going to be hip width apart, and we want to find a nice straight spine here. So by doing this, we're going to squeeze the belly button into our spine, really engaging our core. Then we'll go ahead and roll the shoulders back, peeling them away from the ears, and then palms are going to shine forward. Tadasana, mountain pose. Now, to begin, we'll be inhaling, bringing both arms up towards the sky, extended mountain. On your exhale, bring both hands to touch and slowly begin to hinge forward. Finding a nice straight spine. Bring both hands down to the mat and then inhale, halfway lift. So hands will come to shins or thighs and gaze will be slightly forward. Exhale, forward fold, bring both hands back down to the mat. Go ahead and step one foot back, followed by the other one as we come into a plank pose. Plank pose, we want a strong engaged core. We're going to send our heels back just a little bit and make sure that our hands are pressing into the earth. Now for our first option for our chaturanga, we can stay in plank pose for a couple breaths, working on engaging the core and building our abs. And then we can send our hips back into downward facing dog. This is the first option. Now the second option would be to shift your weight coming back into a plank position. Now from plank, we would inhale, and then on our exhale, we'll be bending the knees, chest and shin. We're going to keep the hips up, worm pose. Stay here for the breath. And then from here, we're going to be sinking the hips down, uncurling the flats of the toes, and then inhaling baby cobra. So little to no weight in our hands. We're really using our shoulders and our chest to rise with the feet planted onto the mat. From here, exhale, lower down, curl the toes under, and send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. On our next inhale, we'll be gazing forward up at the fingertips. And then on our exhale, taking one big step, or maybe a couple little baby steps, coming into a forward fold once more. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to shin, nice flat spine, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Take a deep bend in the knees, inhale, slowly rise, stacking the spine. When shoulders come to standing, bring both arms up towards the sky. And exhale, hands at heart center. We'll move into our second Sun Sal A, adding a different modification for chaturanga. Begin in mountain pose. Nice straight spine, feet hip width apart. Inhale, both arms swoop up towards the sky, extended mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Take it nice and slow, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Place both hands on the mat, step back to a plank position. From here, we'll exhale, dropping the knees to the mat, uncurling the toes, and slowly bringing our belly to the mat. From here, we'll press into the hands and we'll be inhaling into cobra pose. Now our thighs, knees, everything is staying on the ground. And then we'll exhale, lower down. Press into the mat, inhale, and then exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward at your fingertips and take one little baby step or one big step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly rise, stacking the spine, coming to extended mountain pose. Exhale, hands at heart center. Preparing for our next sun salutation. Go ahead and meet in Tadasana mountain pose. Inhale, both arms swoop up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips, taking it nice and slow. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Place both hands on the mat. Step one foot back, followed by the other in plank pose. From here, we'll exhale, tricep push-up, squeezing the elbows into our arm, hovering a couple inches off the ground. Inhale, uncurl the toes, lift your gaze up, upward facing dog, peeling our chest through our arms. And then exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward, and exhale, take little baby steps or one big step to the top of your mat, meeting in forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Take a deep bend in the knees, and inhale, slowly rise, stacking the spine. Coming into extended mountain pose with both arms swooping up. We'll exhale, hands at heart center. Nice. We're going to run through this one more time. You can choose to do a different modification or variation that we learned, or we can stick with the one we just did, meeting in Tadasana mountain pose. Inhale, both arms swoop up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold, nice and slow, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Place both hands on the mat and step back to a plank position. Exhale, tricep push-up, squeezing the elbows into the ribcage. Inhale, uncurl the toes, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward at the fingertips. On your exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat spine. Exhale, fold. Take a deep bend in the knees. And inhale, slowly rise, stacking the spine, meeting in extended mountain pose with both arms up. From here, we exhale, hands at heart center. Setting up for our last round of our Sun Sal A, we'll be adding in one extra bonus pose, meeting in Tadasana mountain pose. Inhale, bring both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold, nice and slow, hinging at the hips, nice straight spine. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to shins, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Go ahead and step one foot back, then the other, coming into plank pose. Exhale, tricep push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale the right foot up, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, and we'll be threading it through as we come into a lunge position, so the foot will land between both hands. Find your control and balance. And then on our next inhale, we'll be bringing both arms up into our crescent pose. Now in crescent, we want to make sure our front knee is stacked over our front ankle and our back knee has a slight bend. Core is engaged and shoulders are peeled away from the ears with our pinkies turned inward. Now from here, we'll frame the front foot coming back into the lunge, stepping both feet to touch plank pose. Exhale, tricep push-up, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left foot up, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee and with control, drop your foot between both of your hands into a lunge pose. Inhale, find your balance, and lift both arms up into our crescent pose. Once again, make sure your front knee is stacked over your front ankle. Slight bend in your back knee, and then engage your core and drop the shoulders from your ears. Then on your next exhale, frame your front foot, step both feet to touch. Exhale, lower down, uncurl the toes, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward up at your fingertips. And then on your next exhale, we're going to slowly travel to the top of the mat, maybe taking one big step or just a couple little baby steps, whatever you feel called to, meeting in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat spine, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, take a deep bend in the knees and slowly rise, coming into extended mountain pose with both arms shining up towards the sky. Exhale, hands at heart center. And that completes our yoga practice for the day. Thank you for showing up on your mat and taking the time for yourself. be launching new videos every single week, so that way you can not only practice at home, but practice at your own time and at your own pace. So if you liked the video, please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Namaste, my friends.